Hello friends, this is Carol with Sunflower Country Farmhouse, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, I am usually doing home decor or cooking or something like that, but today I had promised my viewers that I would tell you what happened to me and how I fractured four of my metatarsal bones in my foot, and this happened on February 1st. So to start out the day, it was a wonderful day. I had gone to listen to a candidate speak, and the governor of Texas was there, and I was fortunate enough to be sitting about 6 inches behind him, so I got to talk with him, introduce myself, and tell him my concerns, and I do have a few pictures I'm going to show you in a minute that I had taken with him. So anyways, let me get into the story. So my husband and I had gone to a meeting in Fort Worth. We belong to a club where you can camp and take your boat out or your wave runners on the lake. So we finished up at the meeting and came back home, and we had just pulled up in our driveway, and my husband says, "Oh, I want to show you how far the fence is going to go back." And he was talking about a fence. He was putting up a white vinyl fence to cover up our pool equipment along the side of the house. And he only had the front panel on, but he wanted me to go out there. And all he had on was the headlights to the car. And I told him, "Oh no, I don't want to go out there. I'm tired. I just want to go in the house." And he says, "Oh, come on, it's just going to take a minute." So I knew better because I didn't have my glasses and I don't see very well in the dark, but I went out there anyways and followed him to where the end of the fence was going to be. So I started heading back towards the garage door so I could go in the house, but I needed to go out to the car, which was probably about 6 feet away from the garage door, to grab my purse before I went in the house. And somehow, I have no idea how I did this, but I stepped in one of the post holes that were dug. There were multiple holes over in that area for the posts that were going to go in for the fence. And these holes, I'm telling you, were deep, at least 2 feet deep and about a foot in diameter. And you really couldn't see the hole because we've got some black landscape, I don't know what you call it, that black landscape lining that keeps weeds from coming up, was all along the dirt down there, and then the holes were there also. So it just all looked dark. So I ended up stepping in one. My husband and I disagree on which hole I actually stepped in now, but yeah, I hit the ground, and I don't even actually remember falling or what I felt during the fall and going down in the hole. I just remember that I heard a pop from my foot, and I knew immediately it was broken. And then all of a sudden I had this horrible pain, and I hollered out to my husband. I said, I need your help. I'm pretty sure I broke my foot. And so he comes over there, and I lifted my foot out of the hole. And I didn't know if my leg was broken or anything. I just kind of pulled my foot out of the hole, and I tried to take the shoe off, and immediately I saw my foot was twisted funny, and it already was starting to swell on the top of my foot. So I told him, I said, "You need to help me get up on my other foot so I can get in the car, and we need to go to the hospital right now." My husband got me in the car, and I just kind of put my foot over my other leg. And so on our way to the hospital, unfortunately, when we got closer to the railroad tracks, a train comes. So we're just sitting there for about 10, 15 minutes while that train goes by. And I am in so much pain, crying some, and just worried about getting to the hospital. Well, we finally get to the hospital about 25 minutes later, and the hospital is packed. And they put me in a small room, not a patient room, but just a room with a chair in, and came in and talked to me. My foot didn't get elevated. I had to just sit in the chair with my foot over my leg. And we stayed in this room for an hour and a half. So here I am in pain, no elevation for my foot, no ice, nothing for an hour and a half before they had a room to put me in. So that itself wasn't a very good experience for me. I finally was given a pain pill in that little room, and then they finally came back in and got me and took me to a regular room with a bed in there. So they did put some ice on the foot and elevate it, and then they took me away for some x-rays. So we came back and we had to wait in there for about 30 minutes before the x-rays came back. Here I am with Governor Abbott, getting to meet him and then getting my picture taken with him. As you can hear, I'm in a lot of pain here at the hospital, just laying in this bed waiting for my x-ray results to come back. And it really, really hurt when she put that boot on my foot. I'm not the best when using crutches. It was hard to get out of the car and get back in the house. You can see me getting in the bed. I was just so exhausted, physically tired. I was on a narcotic also. We got home from the hospital about 2 a.m. in the morning. And, you know, it was hard for me to use those crutches and get in, but I managed it. But the very next day, we called the orthopedic doctor that the hospital recommended. And then I called my primary doctor to get a referral so that I could go see the orthopedic doctor on the Monday because he was in surgery on Friday. So we had to go the whole weekend. I was just laying in the bed and using the crutches just to get to the bathroom, and I was just having a lot of pain. So it was not a fun weekend. So we ended up going to the orthopedic doctor about 9:30 in the morning. And the office staff was really, really sweet. They were really nice. They got me a wheelchair, moved me back. And so when we finally met the doctor, he came in, just sat down. He seemed a little bit cold, not a very good bedside manner. Pulled up the x-ray and says, okay, so the x-ray says you have 3 fractures, but I want to send you to go have a CT scan. And he pretty much was about ready to walk out of the room. And I said, well, aren't you going to look at my foot? And he says, well, if you want me to look at your foot, you're going to need to take that boot off. So I take the boot off, and he just kind of looked at the foot, and then they put an ACE bandage around it, and that was pretty much it. So we left there not feeling so great about this doctor. So the next day we got in to get a CT scan at a diagnostic imaging place where we live. And I called the doctor's office back the next day, the orthopedic doctor, and I asked them if they had received the report. And the lady on the phone told me, oh no, it takes them a whole week to send the report. So we just need to reschedule you for another appointment. And we have an opening the following Monday to get you in at 9 a.m. So I was thinking, so I'm going to have to wait a whole nother weekend, a Friday, a Saturday, Sunday, Monday again, just to figure out what the report said. So we called the diagnostic imaging place, and the report was already in, and we found out that we could pick up the report and a copy of the disc ourselves and find out what the report said on our own. I read the report once my husband got home, and it said I actually had 4 fractures, not 3, and 2 of the fractures had what they call comminuted fractures, which are like several fractures on the bone at that particular spot. So we were a little bit concerned. There also was a 5 mm displacement on the metatarsal number 4 bone. So I didn't really know what to think. I was so afraid that I was going to have surgery. But we decided to look at the reviews of this orthopedic doctor, and they were very, very negative, one after another. And my husband said, "Oh, I don't think we want to go back and see that doctor. You need to find another doctor." So I asked my cousins, some of my friends, who they recommended I see, and they said a podiatrist or foot specialist that does surgery just on the feet. So I got a recommendation from another friend here in my city, and I looked up that doctor, looked at the reviews. I saw over 40 reviews, and he had a 5-star rating, and review after review was excellent. So I called this doctor's office and scheduled an appointment. As soon as I could get in was the following Tuesday. And then I called my family doctor again and got a referral to see this doctor. So I was looking forward to actually seeing this particular doctor and had a little bit more faith going somewhere else. So here is that lovely white vinyl fence. It's completely up right now. I think my husband still has some holes that he needs to cement, but you can see the large holes there. They're about 2 feet deep, and they were at least a foot in diameter. But I'm not sure exactly which hole I fell in. I think I fell in a hole that was in front of the black fence, but my husband says I fell in a hole behind the back fence towards the back part of the house. But I don't remember walking around the fence to get in the car when we went to the hospital. So I guess it really doesn't matter, but I will say the fence does look nice now. Just wanted to show you what my foot looked like from the day after the accident, and how slowly it just bruised more, and then the bruising turned to more of a yellowish type of bruising. But the whole foot, top and all the sides and even the underneath were bruised quite a bit. Finally made it to the foot specialist. I loved their office. They were so awesome. Here you can see my husband taking some videos of my foot and my little scooter in the background. I'm still in pain because I don't like getting up and getting out and about. So y'all just saw how gross the underneath of my foot was. It's still bruised quite a bit. And today's Saturday, so this was last Tuesday when I went to the doctor. So it's still bruised, not quite as bad as what it was. But anyways, I wanted to tell you about the foot specialist. He did take more x-rays, and I thought that was really great, so he could see how the foot have changed since the CT scan. He decided that we're not going to do any surgery at this point. We're going to go ahead and let the foot heal. I'm going to keep it in the boot 24/7. He actually prescribed me some real pain meds so I could get some sleep at night. He also took the boot off. I didn't have to ask. He took my boot off. He not only looked at my foot, but he looked at my leg. He checked my leg, my ankle, really well. And that was another reason for the x-ray, because he wanted to see what my ankle looked like. And then he checked the foot again. So he was very, very thorough, unlike the orthopedic doctor. So I have another appointment to go in 3 weeks. I'm going to have an x-ray that morning before I go, so they can check the progress of the healing. And he's with the attitude is, you know, if we need to do surgery, and we can always do it later. But right now we're going to try to see how this foot does and letting it heal the fractures on its own. Many of you are probably wondering how I'm able to get bathed and get cleaned up and take care of myself. So I'm going to show you our walk-in tub that we had installed when we built this house. We had it put in for when we get older and we can't get in the bathtub when we get in our 70s and 80s and all of that. But who would have known that I had to use it so soon? But my husband took some videos of the bathroom, and then he got me in the tub. I got in there with my crutches, and when I sat in the walk-in tub, I just had him take the boot off. And so he took the boot off, and I kind of slipped my clothes off inside the tub without putting any pressure on my foot. So it all worked out really well. So I'm going to show you the tub now. What's really cool about this tub is it has a heater in it, so I can adjust the heat to exactly as warm as I wanted. I kind of kept it around 100 degrees. It also has these really cool lights that turn the water different colors. So if you want to turn the light off in the bathroom, you can enjoy the little color show that it does. It is a therapeutic tub, so it has jets everywhere around it, safety bars. And so I ended up just putting my foot on top of my right leg, because it's the left foot that's broken, and turned the jets on and just enjoyed all the massage I was getting on my back and my hips and everywhere. So that was super, super nice. I was probably in there about 40 minutes before I called my husband to help me get out. But what I did is just drained the tub and dried myself off completely. So when he came, he was able to open the door, put my boot back on, and help me get out of there so I could get dressed. I kept the door open in the bathroom, so if I needed to get a hold of my husband, he could hear me. But I also had little visitors coming in and out to check out and see what Mommy was doing. So my little fur babies have been checking on me since the accident happened. Well, thank you all for visiting with me today. I'm hoping by next week I'm going to be a little bit more mobile and scooting around the whole house. I know I need to take down all the Valentine's items and decor and start getting ready for my spring decor. So I'm going to try to get that done next week with the help of my husband, of course, and then work on some beautiful spring vignettes to share with you. So thank you again. You don't know how much I appreciate you so very, very much. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button. And you all have a very blessed day. I will keep you posted on my next visit to the doctor to see how my foot is healing.